Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Dead Space. So, we've got the beacon on the asteroid. We're gonna try to free the asteroid and let it send off a distress signal. I suppose it pretty much ruins any thought storyline wise about Isaac not surviving the first game. Like when you first played it, they didn't immediately say that there would be a sequel or a third game. But now, since you know there is a second and third game, it's pretty much impossible to tell. Oh, darn it. Well, the good news is that didn't burn me. Seriously? Hi. Are you out? Good. Let's go ahead and take this and shoot it that way. And then we'll walk around. These guys, I don't think were shooting flames before. And they were just kind of shooting dust. And this is hurting me, but it's not hurting me enough to really affect me.
Dinner will be served in the mess hall in 10 minutes.
So this goes back in there. How many nodes do we have? Like one node. And let's see. Inventory wise, we'll use one of these and refill our health. And then we'll come over here and sell this, and we'll sell one Ripper Blades and another Ripper Blades, and like I'm just gonna sell the stasis pack because this is ridiculous. Flame fuel line racks. I'm gonna hold on to one medium. I still kind of feel like there might be a level 5 suit, but I'm not sure. There's a couple. And I don't really see a reason to come over here and like increase our stasis for the amount of nodes it would cost. That would be pretty crazy. Plasma rifle, we can go more capacity. We can go reload. Force gun, we could go more capacity. Let's see, oh, I can't. This doesn't connect to that. I'd have to. Yeah. Pulse rifle. Man. It's hard to remember the buttons, particularly since the buttons in the menu aren't very connected to the buttons in the. I could go 2 here, and I wouldn't want to do that. Like the Ripper's not going to get any more upgrades. Force gun, it's probably not going to get any more upgrades. Pulse rifle. Alright. More capacity. And more reload. And then we could go more capacity again. And then go up here. Come back this way and this way. And save ourselves this square. And then We could go this, or this, and this. And probably do the damage last. We're good. 3 shots on this gun tells me it's time to use this gun. If I was just using Ripper, the welder, which honestly feels like there was an achievement in the first or second game to just use that, you really shouldn't have bought any of the other guns if that was going to be the case. Because buying other guns gives you the more expensive bullets, but makes it more difficult. And now we have the mining access key that unlocks things. And we're just in this control room. So unless there's some kind of plan to force us to do something or go back into that room and launch it, I think we're fine. This is one of those scenarios where maybe if those crawling creatures that turn dead bodies into Necromorph are going to attack, it would make sense to break all the limbs. We heard in one of the audio logs that somebody did that. They cut off their own limbs so they couldn't become a Necromorph, which I don't know if that's actually going to work.
Beacon's on its way. All functions normal and broadcasting wideband. Now we just have to hope somebody's listening. I'll position the array receiver. I thought I saw my brother again. He waved to me, like nothing was wrong. Okay. I should be able to leave this channel open. What? The comms array receiver isn't responding. Isaac, can you get back to the bridge? We need that array online or we can't receive signals from anyone responding to the beacon.
So we're going back to the bridge again. And
anomaly detected. Quarantine activated.
Coming through here. Kinda happy. Where did that guy come from? The fact that these things just spawn pickups and then you can just walk over them and get there tells you that they're dead. I would have programmed it not to work that way. Thought that was one you could break. I would have made it so it was much closer to a scenario where you had to cautiously creep up to things and see if they're dead and then search the body. Okay, game. Well, this is not part of the game. But I guess we have confirmed that these are actually different levels. And I'm not in zero gravity. So why is there a platform here? Now I'm just falling forever Interesting bug. Did we... Perhaps it was saving and it forced me. Alright, it's out. We did everything. Perhaps it's more of that VSync issue. Maybe I was just standing on the edge. And now it works, and you can see this section here wasn't there. None of that was there until it started loading, and it just failed to load. And we got one more node that I suppose won't even really matter, so I'm gonna just hold on to it. Like, we really have hit a point with the nodes that they're not. See, one of these sides stops and the other side does not. Now, twice we have done this, so I imagine we're going back to deck A, and I've got my force gun ready to go, and I'm imagining we're going to run into something big and deadly, perhaps. Perhaps something so deadly that we can't even defeat it. So far so good, though. So if I don't get this guy off, he'll rip my head off. And take over my whole body. So we've decent collection of people that are of enemies that are nickeling and diming my health down. Again, not really worth going. Make sure we're going the right way. We're going back to the bridge, and we're going to start a new chapter. And if I recall correctly, yep, we're just out this direction. And still looking. That chapter was definitely longer than the chapter 5 and chapter 6 sections. Those were very short in the middle. That being said, we are now at chapter 8 of 12, and I could see us just kind of speeding through this. A lot of what I remember is probably Dead Space 2, in all honesty. And the two games combined probably make a better game than alone.
A military ship just docked in, the USM Valor. I don't know what it was doing out there. It must have gotten our distress signal. We can't talk to it until the comms array is fixed. I'm gonna hack the door to communications for you. Get in there and find the comms control station.
So maybe we end up on the Valor. I mean, that could be a whole second game right there. We've already been here, so we're just gonna fight the security scans. And see, we can hear that big guy again. There's really nothing to buy right now. And this time we have the flesh growth on the elevator, which tells us that and the elevator control is now disabled. Here's a new thing that's refilled. And these things that
Anomaly detected. Activated.
let's switch. Have to be careful. These heavy hitters will do a lot of damage to me if I'm not careful. I'm about to die. I need to pick up this item like quickly. Pick up this other health. Medium health packs get me up to where I should be. There's a full health. I think even if I use the full health right now, it may miss completely filling up everything. Did I knock any item or pick up back this direction? No. So we're gonna take this elevator. So before we do that, let's run, before we take the elevator, let's run this way and go to the bridge. No, we can't even do that, okay. Good to know. I think we're good to go then. A lot of repetition. A lot of repetition of the level design. But for that repetition, I can't go to 2. Or I can't go to 3. Let's go to 2. Nope, can't. We'll go to 3. We get more variety in the enemies than you would expect.
But I've been getting some weird feedback spikes on the local comms. I think someone's listening in on us, so be careful.
I suppose sticking with this gun's still kind of makes sense. And they really did have to lock your ability to open all of these chests. But most video game developers would have just had these refill instead of how many bullets did I just waste doing that? When one shot, 1 or 2 shots would have probably worked. I suppose it makes the game kind of easy. If you weren't having any real difficulty at the beginning of the game and you saved all of the inventory slots for later in the game, I guess that would make sense. We're not going that direction. See, I don't want to go back to medical and fight the immortal guy. He was quite the cheat. I'm out of these bullets completely. I may have to switch guns, and I don't think I want to do that. So here's the body parts separated apart. Like, he's probably a good candidate to use the line gun on. But we're introduced to yet another enemy really, really late in this game. Like, half of these enemies could have been introduced in the second game, and in all honesty, I'm not sure that the second game offers anything close to the amount of variety we have here. I'm gonna go ahead and commit this mode and see if that does what I think it does, which is bring out this gun with 125 bullets. It does. So, a nice cheat. I'll just use this gun though. Nice cheat there to get some extra bullets. Well, not really even a cheat, it's a legitimate strategy.
Communications log. First comms operator Bailey reporting. The ship is under attack, but requests to issue a distress call have been repeatedly denied by Captain Matthias. He won't say it, but everyone on the bridge knows why. This is an illegal operation in a prohibited system. We've all known for months, and we kept our mouths shut. Not anymore. Mayday! 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 This is USG Ishimura. This is... What the hell? I don't believe this. The whole comm system is offline. Now we've gone too far. Bailey out.
Little shooting gallery action here. So this apparently was an illegal mining operation, and that would explain why the comms are down. And there was nothing there, but the body was floating, which doesn't make the most amount of sense because this wasn't a zero gravity section.
Communications array offline. A service technician has been notified.
That comms array is in bad shape. We need at least 6 working dishes for a strong enough signal. Make sure they're aligned symmetrically so there are no power gaps.
So we're either going to use telekinesis or just some kind of interactive console or something. And I imagine as we're doing that, we will Schematic for a medium air can. We really didn't need that. And these schematics can't be random. Because if they were, well, I guess they could be moderately random. It could be suit plus whatever suit you already have. But even if that was the case, it wouldn't be a good layout, and it seems too well thought out for that to be the case. So they're just giving us the schematic for medium air can in case you needed it. And see, I'm just trying to think about what the new Game Plus scenario would be, what you keep and what you don't. Because if you started this whole game on hard with a level 4 suit and everything equipped perfectly, then let's see. These guys are getting closer. Let's see. Plasma rifles. And it seems like the trick is to go somewhere and yeah, it doesn't seem like you can just pull things. So let's go somewhere and see what we're doing. Like these we can put out. And these, I think the idea is we're doing this. So, any of the good ones that happen to be floating around. We're gonna probably have to do some walking. Like that's a good one. I'm gonna have to swing it this way and pull it out. And then let's jump. We can't jump, so just and there's a good one. Now there should be one more good one here. You really have to be pretty close. And there's needs to go that direction. Of course that wasn't gonna work. So it's an in-world puzzle. A lot of game programmers would have taken this and just had it completely as a control this on a console game.
Messages can now be received.
that would have been completely out of the picture.
It's working. Get back to communications and use the control panel to send our coordinates to the Valor.
So, a major improvement over what it could have been. So we got them all aligned. We could have done, I suppose, any ring we wanted. Just would have taken more work to move them around for anything else.
Exiting zero gravity.
I imagine we'll run into something on the way out. They aren't going to just introduce that new enemy and then do nothing with it. And save stations have now become almost completely useless.
This is USM Valor, widecasting on all frequencies.
Don't
to
even see his
USG
face.
Shimura in response to your SOS. We've picked up your escape pod, number 47, and are en route to your position. This message will repeat every 30 seconds until you respond.
The escape pod?
Isn't that the escape pod Hammond jettisoned? One of those things was on board. No. No, this isn't going to happen. USM Valor. Come in, Valor. Our signal isn't strong enough. I'm going to open the blast doors to boost the signal.
Error. Blast door blockage detected. Please contact a repair technician.
Shit! Isaac, there's something big on the hull of the ship, directly above the comms array. Something organic. I don't know what it is, and I don't care. We have to get the doors open to transmit to the Valor. You should have a clear shot from ADS Cannon 48. Get to the cannon and blow it out into space.
So now we've got to go do some more cannon shooting, which I didn't enjoy it the first time. I doubt I'll enjoy it the second time. Just fly through this section. I guess the idea is that this means the comms array is far away from wherever we're going to be with the cannon. And only one Necromorph. Three shots needed for that. So it could be like a big Leviathan. Let's see. And we're seeing more and more benches. How many nodes do we even have? We have 2 nodes, which means we can try to increase our pulse rifle a couple more times. Let's see, this one and this one for the extra damage. If I'm low on bullets, I can get some capacity pretty easily. Then I can go down to reload and then go back for damage and then eventually just get everything. Pulse rifle is going to be good. Force gun, like, the thing about the capacity on a force gun is it's so fewer bullets. You're really not getting as much of a reward for that, and I can make the pulse gun do more damage, which might be useful because it did just take 3 shots. So right now it does 229 points. It would do 6 more, which isn't really that much of an improvement, actually. I half wonder if a medium health kit would even get me to 100% right now. And did I really miss that? Or did it just reload? Here we've got broken glass. We don't see a lot of that. So now we're taking a lift, which is, I think, taking us downward. Although it's saying upward. So I guess we're going upward. There's nothing to indicate which way you're going, because you're not going either way. It's just lighting and trickery. And that was already open. Nice that they programmed it so that it could be open or closed by default. That's a little thing you could easily miss in developing a game. For example, a great game like Borderlands, every single loot chest that has anything in it, Borderlands 1 at least, I think is closed. Probably intentionally. And let's go ahead and just, for the first time in a while, just in case there's a way to die here. And let's see if this takes me more than 5 minutes. So it's not like my gun is weak or anything here. It's gonna be throwing things at me. I'm aiming for its thing. So clearly the Necromorphs, in very limited scenarios, can turn into giant monsters. I don't think Dead Space 2 continued with this idea, though. Not really. We're at 72% hull integrity, and unless I'm supposed to finally destroyed one of them at 54% hull integrity. That's 2. I'm pushing both the left and right, so trying to double up on the damage I do. Not doing a great job of this. There's another. There's another. We only have one more. And this is a lot easier than what... Like, it seems like once you hit it once, it moves out of the way. There you go, 54%. And that breaks this giant mass. How this was a human at one point, I have no idea.
USM Valor, this is Kendra Daniels on the USG Ishimura. Come in. Do not open the escape pod. USM Valor, this is Kendra Daniels on the USG Ishimura. Come in. Do not open the escape pod. Damn it! Respond!
There it goes. So this ship is already infected.
Damn it. It's
And it didn't go to the game over scene.
Talk to someone. It's all falling apart here.
Isaac. Isaac, are you there? Thank God you're all right. I've been trying to reach you. Someone's been blocking my rig signal remotely. A crash must have interrupted the signal block.
Hammond, where have you been?
Surviving. Barely. I found some med supplies and patched myself up. Listen. I'm calling aboard on the mission. Fuck the CEC and fuck the chain of command. We have to get the hell out of here. I think I've located a shuttle on the crew deck. The flight log says it needs a new singularity core, but we can probably salvage one from the Valor. I can see the tail end of it sticking out from the side of the Ishimura. I'm headed down there now to find a way inside. I'll meet you there. Hammond out.
Isaac, if what he says is true about the shuttle, we might have a chance of getting out of here. Head to the cargo bay and see if you can help Hammond. In his condition, he may not last long.
So she still doesn't trust him, and theoretically she may have been the one blocking it, the signal. A much better sequence than before, however. Much better sequence. No real failure going on there, and seems like, if I'm remembering correctly, let's look at the map, it's not even going to be much of a travel. We may get jumped by a couple of necromorphs, and that's it. We've got a decent amount of things to sell once we find a shop. And let's just see on chapter 8 how many lines. Oh, we've already seen everything even. So an incredibly short section. Yeah, this game ran out of steam. It would have done better to, well, it worked fine actually. Even though it was short, it sold fine. It justified the sequel, and the sequel justified its sequel. And if EA hadn't put a bunch of microtransactions in it, it would have been a fine trilogy. Still a lot better than a lot of video game trilogies, but we'll get to that later. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.